Hey everybody, how you doing? Just wanted to talk a little bit about orange 2x4s. Why are these 2x4s orange? They're a special kind of 2x4. These are an engineered 2x4. What they do is they take layer upon layer upon layer of an OSB type wood and they layer it together. And they make it the same thickness as a 2x4, but the advantage that this orange 2x4, this layered 2x4 has over a regular 2x4 is a regular 2x4, when the wood dries out, when you have changes in season, you're going to get some possible twisting, or you could get a little bit of a belly in the stud. And if you've got that issue in areas where you're going to have cabinets and countertops, you're going to see that there's a difference in the reveal where the countertop abuts to the wall. So when they frame a house, countertops don't actually go in until months later, after drywall's all done, and then the countertops get set. So by the time that the drywall is all finished, studs have dried out, and they have curved, they have contoured, they have bowed. Not all of them, but some of them. And instead of taking the chance that that's going to happen behind a wall where you're going to have countertops and cabinets, we use these orange 2x4s, engineered 2x4s, because they don't move. Another area these can be used, if you've got a house that you're building and you're going to have like a 20-foot tall wall with tons of windows in the wall, so there's not a lot of room for actual lumber to go in the wall because of all of these windows and the height of the wall. These engineered studs are stronger than a standard dimensional piece of lumber, a dimensional 2x4. So that's another area these can be used. Now they do definitely cost more than a standard dimensional lumber 2x4. So in our houses, you know, if cost wasn't an issue, we would use these in place of any 2x4s on all of the exterior walls, the interior walls, but they are a lot more expensive. So we just want to make sure we're not having to go back and fix issues where, you know, gaps are between the wall and cabinets or in between the wall and countertops. So ask your builder if they're doing engineered studs, and if they're not, that's something that you should probably request. I want to touch base on a couple of things here at this house that's under construction. Why is the door from the garage into the house 4 feet off of the ground? Well, it's a great question, but this is done in order to keep your driveway as flat as possible. If you're building on a lot that is going to be set up for a daylight basement exposure in the back of the house, a lot of times that lot is going to be built up like a little hill. And so when you put your house on top of that hill, that means that your driveway has to go up that hill to get to the garage. So if you've got kids, or even if you don't, ideally you want a flat driveway so that if you set a ball by the edge of your garage door, it's not just going to shoot down the driveway. So how do you fix that? What can you do? You figure out the pitch that you want for your driveway and how flat you want it, and that's how far down you drop the garage floor. Now, the one negative when you drop the garage floor is that you are going to have steps. And in this case, there's going to be 5 or so steps from the garage floor to inside the house. So we almost have to build a staircase in order to make that work, and that does take up some of the garage space. So if you know this ahead of time before you're building your house, you can accommodate by making your garage a little bit bigger to make sure you still got enough room in there after those stairs go in. But it is going to definitely be a good idea to drop that garage floor. So if you're building a house, no matter where your lot is, have your builder check out and tell you what the grade, what the pitch of your driveway is going to be before you get too far along into the planning of the home process, or especially before the hole gets dug and basement walls get set. Now, sometimes it's not as extreme as this. You may have a situation where your driveway is just going to be pitched a little bit, but you still want it to be a little bit flatter. So then, normally you have there's always one step in the garage. So you've got a step onto the step and then a step into the house. So if you just want to bring the driveway pitch down a little bit, you can just simply add another concrete step in the garage. And that doesn't really take up too much room, but that's going to bring the garage floor down another 8 to 10 inches and add another step in the garage, but it's going to help flatten out the driveway as well. You can see the house behind me. If you look at the top of the blue board that's in the garage, that's where the height of the garage floor would have been had we not dropped the garage floor. So you can imagine you'd have another 4 feet from the street going into the garage. That would give you a super steep driveway. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. I don't think I can stand outside any longer. It is freezing out here. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and let me know if you've got any questions on what you saw here. I'd be happy to answer them for you. Thank you.